Alright, this is Bruckley's PC build, part 1. Yo, we're using the new camera. I'm hype. Alright, here we go. Motherboard right here, processor there, his hard drive's over there. He's gonna have an SSD and an M.2. The RAM is right there. It's some Alloy, I believe 3200 megahertz. That's what I think I ended up getting. 16 gigs. And all the specs will be listed in the bio. So we got the PC case right here. I already took the glass off. We already put the IO shield. Now it's time for the motherboard, processor, and that jazz. So I'm gonna move y'all over there. So, we got the motherboard here, looking crystal clear, clean, and it's goodness. So I always put it on top of the box because you don't want to put it on a carpet because it'll ruin it. If you static shock the board, it'll kill the board. So I highly recommend you discharge your static electricity on something metal, which typically I use a case. Just tap, you'll be fine. Now we're gonna go ahead and pop the RAM in there. Then we'll do CPU next. All right, this is where I'm gonna pause it and figure out which channels it wants these to go in, because I'm betting it's probably the black channel. But all right, so after checking out the manual, it looks like it's actually the gray slots. See, I would have thought it was the black ones, but here we go. We're gonna go ahead and plop those in. So I always recommend just read the manual. Takes 2 seconds. I know everybody's gung-ho and just wants to go straight in on it, but just read the manual. Read the manual, my guy. So RAM has a notch that'll line up with the actual motherboard of where it's supposed to go in. Okay, sorry. This is one of them ones where sometimes both of these are clips, sometimes they're just a static thing. All right, she's in. Next one. All right, now that we got that in, she look good. Dang, she look good. All right, on to the processor. I'm not gonna show y'all opening the box, but we'll put that in next. Now, we chose a Ryzen 5 3600 for the performance and value that you get from that particular processor. And I do have a video up of that PC build, the new PC build. So if y'all wanna see that, you should be able to just find it from my channel. Now we're gonna use this stock cooler because there's nothing really wrong with them. This one already has thermal paste applied, so we're just gonna use that. He's not gonna overclock or anything, so shouldn't have any issues with that. We got the processor right here. We're gonna go ahead and unscrew these bad boys before we do anything. Stock cooler, we can keep this bad boy, leave it back here. So we got something to screw into. I probably shouldn't have picked it up. There we go, back at it again with the white vans. So basically you don't want to open this until you're ready to put the processor in. And now it's time. Some people do their builds differently than I do. I used to build mainly in the case first, and that's kind of annoying. So I stopped doing that. Because like if you put everything on the motherboard before you put it in, it's a lot easier to maneuver than like trying to finagle stuff into the actual board. So you always want to line it up. You got these little triangles that tell you, I don't know if it's not gonna focus. Focus. Well, you're just gonna have to believe me. There's a little, there you go. All right, so you saw it. Yay. Gonna go ahead and line it up. You obviously don't want to touch the bottom of the processor because it's got these pins. If you bend these pins, you'll have a bad day. It should just plop in, no problem. You shouldn't have to force it. If you have to force it, you're doing it wrong. All right, so we got her in. We're gonna go ahead and lock her down. Boom, she's locked in. She ain't going nowhere now. Bruckleyy, do you want the fan facing this way or the fan facing this way?
Whatever is better.
There isn't a difference.
Well,
it's just a preference at this point.
Happens.
CPU fans up here. We may actually want to flip this beach. Just for sake of just it being clean, we could probably do it just like that. There's CPU fan, we are plugged in. CPU fan, we have liftoff. Perfect. All right, we are in. Now we're gonna screw that bad boy on and off to the next step. This case actually did not come with the standoffs pre-installed, so we're gonna be installing those. We also bought some up here, I think was the name. Yeah. Up here fans, they are RGB. They came with a remote, and they also were kind of lazy. You literally have to put the anti-vibration things on the fans, which is kind of annoying, but you know, that's why I'm making this video, so y'all know. Y'all know what I didn't know. Cool. All right, so we got the motherboard sitting over there. I'm gonna go ahead and install these bad boys. All right, so I just had Bruckle finish these up for me with the little rubber grommets. I'm just gonna call them grommets. I don't know what the anti-vibration pad. So we got the fans in. That was a giant pain in the butt. And I also routed the cables in between the two fans here, because for whatever reason, the IO panel, the cables go right, it makes not the most sense with the IO panels literally right here, but you know, whatever. So we got that. Then I routed all the cabling. This is where I put the fans. So about 3 diagonally down, not diagonally, but just so that you can have a fan here, and it's gonna look uniform, because I didn't want to put them too close together, because I thought that might look stupid. So now we're gonna plop the magnetic dust filter back on. Actually, yeah, this looks good. What I like though is that these dust filters actually hide, you cannot see the screws now. These fans are gonna look sick because they're halo fans. So I'm pretty excited. Got the power supply in, which makes 0 sense. Look at this, look at this. This makes no sense, guys. Why is it an indent into it? So weird. I'm assuming it's for this lip down here. It's beveled or angled, but it's just, I don't know, it's so weird. But I mean, we made sure that we flipped the power supply so that it blows in and then out, because we didn't want it blowing into the actual computer. So now we got that all set up. I just routed all the cables through the back down here under this bottom part. It was kind of a giant pain in the butt, but it's gonna look a whole lot cleaner when we get the build all together. So I already put everything together on the motherboard. The only thing we don't have yet is a graphics card for this particular build. So you always want to make sure you line up, as you can see, the IO panel with the actual motherboard's IO. Otherwise it'll not stick in correctly. Now we're going to go ahead and put the screws in to keep her in place. And that's pretty much that. I'm excited to get this thing all wrapped up, put back together. We're gonna do 2 fans up here, 1 fan back here, and these are the up here fans. Then we're also gonna use the fan that came with it. This fan comes with it. We're gonna probably put this down here just as another intake to blow cool air in. So now we got the whole thing put together. I did the cable management. It's terrible, that's why I want to show you guys. You gotta lift this up and then pull out. Get this little plexiglass piece off. We're gonna plop that over there. Now, y'all can see the inside. Oh yeah, that's schmexy, dude. So schmexy. Oh, 360 no scopes. All right, last thing. We don't have the graphics card yet because I haven't been able to get a 3000 series or a 6000 series AMD card. So he's not gonna have a graphics card, so this won't be working yet.
We got the final product here, all built, finished up, in the case, and whew, does she look ready. I give this build a 8 out of 10 as far as ease of use, as far as the case goes. She looks great with the aggressive stylings. I love that these are magnetic dust filters. I highly recommend this case to anybody thinking about it. My only gripes would be I don't necessarily love this panel. It does have a little bit of flex on it, so if you're gonna use these USBs right here or the headphone or mic jack, just a forewarning. But otherwise, I highly suggest this. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit that like, and if you could smash that sub button. Also, I'm running some giveaways on my TikTok and on Twitter, so make sure you go check those out to get entered to win, giving away some pretty cool stuff. Y'all have a good one. Thanks for stopping in. Shade out.